Simpson, welcome to my channel. If you would like to see how I achieve this everyday glam using the Jaclyn Hill palette, please keep watching. First product I'm going to use is Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown. I use this to fill in my brows. I always start by lining the bottom first and then the top. Next thing I'm going to do is fill in my brows with hair-like strokes. Use the spoolie to help blend everything out and just keep filling in where I need to. Next thing I'm going to be using is my LA Girl Pro Conceal in Fawn. I like to use this in order to clean up underneath my brow. It gives the illusion of a sharper underbrow highlight. After I do that, I'll also blend it down to my eyelids so that I can use that to prime my eyes for the eyeshadow. I'm using the Morphe M432 brush. It's a very flat brush and it's very easy to use under the brow. Next thing I'm going to be doing is using the same concealer to blend down to my lids so that I can start on my eyeshadow. I'm going to be blending this in by using a beauty blender. I made sure that it was very damp so that it'd be easy to blend, because if it's dry, it does not blend well. I like to use this to prime my eyes because it makes my eyeshadow stay very well. And it does not crease once I set it with powder. So the next thing I'm going to do is set my lids with powder. I'm using a translucent powder. This is the Nye Banana Powder. And I'm just going to use a Morphe eyeshadow brush, but any brush is fine. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and put it on my lid. By putting powder over my lid before I put on eyeshadow, it keeps it from creasing. Okay, next thing I'll be taking is my Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. This is definitely my favorite palette. It comes with a lot of different shades that are matte and shimmer. For this look, I'm just going to be doing a very simple brown eye that has shimmer. First thing I'm going to be going in with is this shade right here. I'm going to be taking this in my crease, just using a fluffy brush from BH Cosmetics. I'm going to just tap off the excess powder. So I'm just going to keep building that color in the crease. I like to use circle motions to blend. After that shade, I'm going to be going in with this one. I will also use this shade in the crease, and I will use the same brush just to add a little bit more color to it. Next thing I'm going to be doing is taking a Morphe brush. It's the M441. This one's still fluffy, but it's more dense, so that way I can have more product onto my brush. I'm going to be taking this shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette. Just gonna take a little on my brush at first, and definitely make sure that I tap this off because it is a darker color and I don't want it to be difficult to blend. So right now I'm just blending this into those crease shades, just so that I can have a smooth look instead of there being any harsh lines. Next thing I'm going to be doing is taking this shadow from the palette. It's a nice shimmer. I'm going to be placing that on my lid. But first, I'm going to put concealer on my lid so that it's brighter. And to do that, I'll be using the Tarte Shape Tape. And I will also be using the Morphe M432 brush that I used earlier. I like to use the Tarte Shape Tape for my crease because I feel like it does not crease and it keeps my shadows, especially the shimmer ones that I put on top, very, very, very pigmented. You just want to put this all over the lid. So now I'm going to be taking a Wet n Wild brush. It's just a flat brush. And I'm going to take that shade that I showed you all. I'm going to place that on my lid now. And even though it is very pigmented, I'm just going to spray my brush once. Anything will do. My Fix Plus for water, but I'm just going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter just because I have it here, just to intensify the pigment. Now I'm just going to go back in with my Morphe M441 and just make sure that everything's all blended out. Next thing I will be using is the Marc Jacobs liner. I'm going to use this. I'm not going to create a wing or anything. Just going to simply line my eyes. Going to be doing is taking my Maybelline Big Shot mascara. Any mascara will work, especially since I'm going to put falsies on, but I'm just going to use this to coat my lashes. I am going to be using the Flutter lashes by the Intoxicating Flutter lashes. I like these to wear, I guess, for a more simple or everyday glam. Next thing I will be doing is priming my face. I will be using the Too Faced Hangover Primer. This is one of my favorite primers. It's very moisturizing and it keeps my makeup on all day. Also has a nice smell to it. I'm just gonna put this all over my face. And also on my neck because I'm going to blend my foundation down to my neck. Next thing I will be taking is my LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation, and I will also be applying this all over my face. I am going to use my Sigma F80 to apply it. I like this brush because it's flat, also gives me the best coverage I feel for this foundation. And I like this foundation because I feel like it is extremely long wearing and very affordable. The shade I'm using is Bronze. And when I get to the forehead, I blend into the hairline so that there is no color difference. Now I'm just going to be taking my beauty blender to smooth that all out. Next thing I'm going to be doing is highlighting and contouring my face. The first thing I'm going to use is the Fawn LA Girl Pro Concealer. And I am going to use a Makeup Shack brush with it. This one does not have a name. I like to put just a little on the brush. I just use Fawn as kind of like a base for my other concealers, because it's not really my highlight color. I'm also going to be adding just a little to my cupid's bow area and also my chin. Next thing I'm going to be doing is taking the Cool Tan from LA Girl Pro, and I'm going to be applying this on top of the Fawn. I'm going to use the same exact method that I used with the Fawn. With this brush, I really like to use more dabbing motions than swiping. I feel like I get more coverage out of the product that way. So I just try to pat it, dab it into my skin. Last but not least, I would just add a dab of Tarte Shape Tape in Tan Sand just to have a brighter under eye highlight, because I know once I put powder on top, it will just kind of make the color not as bright anyway. So I just do this to have it brighter beforehand. So once the powder settles into my skin, it's still at least somewhat white and not completely gone. And for this, I'm doing the same exact thing. The next thing I'm going to do is to use Dark Cocoa by LA Girl. This is also by them, and I like to use this to contour. So I'm going to put it on the sides of my forehead, along with around this area. And to blend that in, I'm just going to be using a Real Techniques brush. I also blend this into the hairline because this is now my new color. And I'm going to do the same with my cheeks. Next thing I'm going to do is highlight my nose. For that, I like to use Fawn since it's more of a natural color on me. And on the sides of my nose, I will use dark cocoa for the shadow. All I do is take Fawn, place it in the center. And then after that, I take dark cocoa and place it on the sides. Now I just blend that in. I like to use the side of a beauty blender to blend it. I just find like it's the easiest way for me. And after that, I just put my beauty blender all over just so that it can blend and just look more natural. Next thing I'm going to be doing is setting my entire face with powder. I am going to be setting my under eyes with the Nye Banana Luxury Powder. Personally, I don't find that this one gives me any flashback, but I also try not to bake or anything like that for too long. So I'm going to be taking that under my eye, and I'm going to use the Beauty Blender to place it there. Just let that sit there for a sec. I'm going to be taking my MAC Studio Fix powder and NC45 to set the rest of my face. I will also be using my Kat Von D brush to do that in number 20. Next thing I'm going to be taking is my Too Faced Cocoa Contour Kit. Mine is in the medium to deep shade, and I am going to be taking medium mocha to start off with. I'm also going to be using the same Real Techniques brush. And I'm just going to put that every single place that I had contoured. Next thing I'm going to be doing is wiping away the excess powder that I left on my face from the translucent powder, and I'm just going to use this brush. I'm going to use this one because I probably still have product left on it from my MAC powder, and so that's brown and it won't give me flashback. So I'm just going to dust that away. And make sure that it's all away so I don't have any flashback. Next thing I'm going to do is apply blush. And for that I'm going to use my BH Cosmetics Special Occasions palette. I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's a really neutral blush. And the brush I'm going to use is just a black typical blush brush. The next step is to highlight. So I am going to be using the Artist Couture Illuminati highlighter. It's a diamond glow powder, and it gives a very, very bright highlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Makeup Shack brush, just a really, really nice fan brush that I like to use, and I am going to just spray it once before I dip it in the Illuminati to apply to my face. Also gonna add just a little on the sides. I also do the tip of my nose, but I use a separate brush. And for that, I'm gonna be using the Morphe M532. The next thing I'm going to do is line my under eyes, since I didn't do that earlier. I'm going to be using the same Marc Jacobs liner in my waterline. After that, I'm just going to be taking one of the brushes that I used earlier. Actually, this is the Kylie Cosmetics brush. I didn't use this one earlier, but I'm just gonna dip this one in to the darkest brown shade that I use and smoke out my bottom lash line. And now I'm just going to be taking just a little bit of my translucent powder like I had earlier, just to clean up under there, since I had spilled a little. Then I'm gonna dust that away. Next thing I'm going to be doing is just applying mascara to my lower lash line. And I'm also still using the Colossal Big Shot Mascara by Maybelline. I will also be highlighting the inner corners of my eyes and also underneath my brow bone. So I'm also going to take Illuminati for that. And I will just be using this BH Cosmetics brush. Now I'm just going in with a fluffy brush to blend that out. Okay, last but not least, I will be putting on gloss, and I will be using Literally by Kylie Cosmetics. Just a simple, very nude gloss to finish the look. And this gloss is very pigmented. Lastly, I will be spraying my face so that everything lasts long, and I will be using the Urban Decay All Nighter Finishing Spray.